Hello, this is Neil from Mobile Central, and I'm here today with the North American variants of the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now, these are the GSM models, this SGHT999 for T-Mobile USA, Win Mobile, Mobilicity, and Videotron, the last three being in Canada, and the SGH-i747 for AT&T, Bell, Rogers, and TELUS, and those three are being in Canada as well. The Samsung Galaxy S3 GSM model has a 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon S4. It has 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigabytes of internal storage, but it can be expanded with another 64 gigabytes with microSD-XC. For the T-Mobile model, there is a 32 gigabyte version available, but the AT&T one does not have this. And in Canada, you can get it for any variant. There's a 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED display. It has an 8-megapixel rear camera with 1080p HD video recording, a 1.9 megapixel front camera with 720p HD video recording. Has dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, NFC with a secure element for mobile payment support, quad-band GSM and Edge. The SGH-i747 has tri-band HSPA+, for support across the Americas, excluding T-Mobile, with dual-band LTE on 700 MHz band class 17 for AT&T only, and AWS for North America. The SGH-T999 has quad-band HSPA+ support for HSPA networks all across the Americas, Europe, and most of Asia. The Galaxy S3 has Android 4.0 with the TouchWiz UX. These models are currently available, and there are, of course, two other models from Verizon and Sprint, which are CDMA versions. The Samsung Galaxy S3 is a departure from classic Samsung design for Galaxy S phones. For one, it's a very smooth, glossy finish across all the sides with the metal strip around it. You have your power button, your volume rocker, your microphone and headphone jack, and of course you have your micro USB MHL at the bottom. It's smooth on all sides, so it feels, very easy to move around in. I'm sorry. And there's speaker here, there's LED, and there's the camera on there. And well, they come in both of these colors. This is pebble blue and this is ceramic white. They both feel pretty much the same. The only difference between the two is that you'll notice that there'll be with the light here when it's on. Sometimes there'll be a little bit of bleed, but not on this one. It feels very premium, but it also feels like it can easily slip out. I also found over the course of using that holding it with my right hand actually was kind of painful. Holding it with my left hand and then just using my right hand for operation was a lot less difficult, and I could actually hold it for long periods of time without feeling aches in my hand. But it is well built. It's slim, and with the 2500 milliamp hour battery, it lasts a pretty decent amount of time. I mean, I managed to make it last pretty much the whole day on average use, with listening to music and watching a few movies and browsing the web and making a few calls. Samsung's user experience on the Galaxy S3 is considerably different from the previous versions. They went for a whole nature-esque kind of thing, and it's kind of evident when you look at it. They have natural colors, and they've replaced many of the sounds with natural sounds. Face unlock, of course, with the back pattern unlock for that. And one thing I've noticed is apparently Samsung is now pretty much disabling wallpaper scrolling across everything. I also noticed that in the course of actually setting up the wallpapers and doing all that stuff, it turned out that the zooming of the wallpaper is not quite so good. I wound up getting a third-party app called Wallpaper Wizardry, right there. That app on the Play Store, it's free. it apparently fixes the problems that occur when trying to use the wallpaper functionality, and it fixes the wallpaper zoom and makes it look proper. So this issue crops up after in Samsung software updates that disable the ability to have a scrollable wallpaper. Compared to previous versions of TouchWiz, you'll notice that there's no dock on the bottom. And continuous scrolling is something that Samsung really likes. And just scrolling through this will not take you to the widgets. You have to go and tap on the widgets thing, which I kind of like because it means that you don't accidentally go into widgets when you don't need to. Samsung preloaded a lot of widgets actually, so there's a lot of widgets on here for the few apps that it comes with. And of course you got your Play Store and some of these preloaded applications. By and large, the Samsung experience hasn't really changed, I guess, in the way it functions from previous versions, but it's pretty much, the aesthetics are quite different. I mean, it's pretty much what it is, so with the amount of preloaded functionality, a lot of it is about sharing. The big thing for it is that it makes it easier to share with other people. A lot of this functionality, though, is Galaxy S3 specific. So, for one, we have NFC, which we'll turn on here. I guess we'll do the same on this side. And go here. We'll turn on that, and we will be able to use S-Beam and Android Beam. And we will turn those on. So with S-Beam on, we can actually do sharing of files and information. So for if we want to beam something to someone, so let's get a file of sorts. We'll do it from this one. Well, first, we'll take a picture. The camera functionality is okay. It's pretty much just what you're used to from Samsung. It hasn't really changed all that much from the Galaxy S3 from the Galaxy S2 or the Galaxy S originally. So let's take a picture of this. Big difference is that you can take multiple shots. So we'll share this one. We can share it with Groupcast. Groupcast through unsecured Wi-Fi network. Yeah, we're not doing Groupcast, but if we want to share the picture, right, not. It's kind of the thing that annoys me. There we go. Touch to beam, and you'll see that it is transferring. It is connecting, and it's going to pull the data from there. The thing that annoys me about this is that these buttons are actually so lowly placed on the close to the end of the bezel that it's really easy to hit it. So we'll enable the motion. Yeah. So you got your classics pinch to zoom. And that, oh, and the dots thing, that's just, I turned that on. That's not actually normally there. So S-Beam is basically the core of what most of the sharing on this does. It's a combination of NFC and Wi-Fi Direct to make sharing really easy among Galaxy S3 users. With Android Beam by itself, you can only share very simple data like contacts and stuff. S-Beam enhances it so you can actually send significant data. I've even transferred videos between the two units. Then, of course, there's S-Voice. So let's see. Hold this. Yep. There we go. Open up Sonic CD. And see, S-Voice, in my experience, S-Voice is often not going to pick you up right unless you're very clear and you enunciate your sound. But it does work. It's not the greatest though. And this is just, you know, you can see that gameplay is actually quite nice. The touchscreen is fairly responsive, and certainly better than trying to play it with the Galaxy S2, where it's actually slightly irritating. The big screen also helps because you can see the details a lot better despite the high resolution. And that's enough of that. Exit. So that's with that. And there's also a kind of annoying flaw when it comes to this. Like if you're playing certain games like Angry Birds Space, if it's not HD optimized, you're gonna see something odd. Everything's very tiny. So like I'll just do this one. You see that normally it'd be a bit larger, but thanks to the HD screen, it is not. That being said, since the screen is actually quite good, it's not that big of a hindrance. One particular feature the Galaxy S3 has that I like is the pop-up player for video playback. So if I go into a video, is in the video player here. And I can just do this while moving that around and say I want to go browse a website, so go to the internet. So that lets you like watch videos while you're doing other things at once because the pop-up player can operate like a little mini app thing. Also, you have the ability to sharecast those videos with all cast, but I don't have a DLNA TV to show that with. So, for video recording, there's also a function to let you actually do video, to take pictures while doing video recording. So we'll try that on this one. I'm switching back and forth because I got the cameras, the phones are identical, so I can just pretty much show both of them. So I'll switch the camera back because, yeah. Now we will and we'll see that we're just taking this recording right here of the AT&T Galaxy S3 while recording for this review. And we'll take a couple of pictures just by hitting the button. And then we're done. And there we go. We got some pictures and we have the video. The Galaxy S3 also includes some additional features that make it a little more convenient, like Smart Stay, which actually lets you ensure that the display stays on while you're looking at it. So you can see it from the settings here. You can set Smart Stay. When it doesn't see your face, it will just turn off the screen. But if it does see your face, then it'll just keep the screen on. It'll check periodically, basically on the timeout that you set for the screen. There's also power saving features. If you you go into this menu, if you switch on power saving, you have a nice selection of options to help reduce the amount of power that's actually used over the course of time, especially when the battery is low. Another cool feature that, I think is mostly in custom ROMs, but now Samsung's bringing this into the fold for the stock firmware, is the ability to have the battery percentage as opposed to using the ambiguous meter. If you go into the display settings, you can scroll down here and you see display battery percentage, and you can see that the battery percentage is right now at 63%. I think we'll be good on that. So, or you can just not have it and just have that. So that's the Galaxy S3 from AT&T and T-Mobile, the GSM North American models. They are currently available now. AT&T has it in garnet red, pebble blue, and ceramic white, while T-Mobile has it in pebble blue and ceramic white. Other carriers also have it, Sprint and Verizon and C Spire and US Cellular, but those will be covered some other time. Overall, I consider the Galaxy S3 to be a really good device. Software-wise, it is fantastic. It offers a nice selection of features, and it really makes the hardware sing. It's really, really good. So I'd recommend it if you're looking for a high-end phone with great capabilities and basically an all-around stellar well-rounded device. The Galaxy S3 is the one to get on any carrier.